Bible Jim here. I'm going to read a couple verses here where Jesus is telling us something very important, and I want you to pay attention and see what you think Jesus is telling you, okay? In Matthew chapter 10, verse 39, he says this: "Whoever finds their life will lose it, and whoever loses their life for my sake will find it." And then in 16:25, he says this: "For whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for me will find it." Now, it's obvious Jesus isn't talking about giving up our lives, literally dying for him. He's telling us that we just have to live our lives not just for ourselves, but for others. If we just live for ourselves, then we're losing our life. But if we live for others, we're gaining our life. Now, what does this mean? I found this true in my life. When I was living for myself, I was a believer. When I say a believer, I believed in God, but I didn't know what it meant to have a personal relationship with God and with Jesus. But I was successful in life, as I've told you before. Had my own business, had a family, had my own home, had rental property, but I always had this void in me. There's something missing, and it wasn't until I found Jesus that void was filled in my life. And then once I found Jesus, then all of a sudden I started living my life not just for myself and my family, but for others. Prior to that, I was a good man. I was doing good things for my family. But once I found Jesus, then I started living my life for others and not just for myself. So when I see people that, wealthy people or famous people, that have gobs of money, that two people living in this home that's 25,000 square feet with a pool, tennis court that hardly ever gets used. And I think, are they happy? Is that giving them happiness? Because they're living just for themselves. Until they learn to live for others, they're not going to find the true meaning to life. So that's what Jesus meant when he said, if you live just for yourself, you're going to lose your life. But if you live for others, you're going to gain your life, because you're going to find real meaning to your life. I feel so